Hi YouTubers, it's Melissa, week 4, connecting with the elements, which I kind of like this topic a whole lot. I know that there's a lot of people out there who really, truly do struggle with trying to find connections to the elements. We all have particular traits in us that correspond with each of the 4 elements. And there are some elements that we can relate to a lot easier than, than there are others. One of the things that I do to help connect me to the elements, because a lot of times I'll either work with one individually or I'll work with all 4 at the same time, just to make sure that there's shown no insult to the other elements, or quarters, watchtowers, whatever, directional, however you phrase it. If I work with all 4 together, what I like to use, before I really came out of the broom closet to my family when I was younger, one of the things that I would use, instead of a big blatant pentacle, was a flower. Try to find maybe like a 5-petaled flower or a 9-petaled flower. And the reason why I say a flower is it grows in the earth. So there's the earth correspondent. It needs water to sustain its life. If you do not give it enough water, just like us, it will die. So there's the water element. The flower itself usually is aromatic. Scents travel through air, which is your air element. And the fire element comes from the sun. The plant, before it could produce the flower, needed the sun's heat and energy from a big ball of fire up in the sky to help produce chlorophyll, which feeds and nourishes the plant. So if you were to take away any one of the 4 elements, that flower would not have existed. So what I like to do, especially now with it being spring, which is a weird statement for me because I live in Florida, where we have like 3/4 of the time summer and then like maybe a few months where it's not so summer. And it's actually been strangely and oddly cooler down here than it has been in the rest of the world. Don't know what that's about, but I would work with one element individually. And I know there's millions of books out there that give millions of different correspondences to each of the elements. But what I use to relate to the different correspondences, I've never really seen in any of the books. Like, using a flower, to represent the pinnacle. It's perfect, and it's a great offering to make to the gods and goddesses or deities of your choice. When I was practicing solitary, I loved going to the beach and with the seagrass. Seagrass was another example, or sea oats. It's something that's amazing to me, sea oats, because it's grown by the water and the sand and the chlorophyll, and it has to use the air to pollinate itself to produce the oats. So it's just, you can use whatever you find in your area comfortable. Connecting with them individually, maybe take a little bit of your time out of one of your days a week and determine which element you want to connect with and be with, and find something that symbolizes that for you, whether it be, like Jack Sparrow, I got a jar of dirt, or, you get a little vial of river water or ocean water or tap water. Down here in Florida, a lot of people don't realize, I'm sure we've all drank Zephyr Hills bottled water, but a lot of people don't realize they get their water from the aquifer, which is this big giant underground water reservoir. If you go to the Fountain of Youth, you get your water from the exact same aquifer, as well as from any tap source in the state of Florida. So my tap water essentially is chemically enhanced versions of the Fountain of Youth water. The Fountain of Youth water really used to be sulfuric water, like sulfur water, and smelled like very much like rotten eggs. If you stayed in a little cubby there too long, but that ended up drying out, and they had to drill deeper and tap into the aquifer system. They had to drill like 200 feet deeper. But whatever. And then I felt completely ripped off when I went into St. Augustine. But I won't go into that. Yeah, find different ways to connect. If you live in a beachy area, maybe on a day you're connecting to Earth, go to the beach, sit in the warm sun, hear the rolling water, and smell the salt in the air, but bury your legs, bury your feet and your legs in the dirt, in the sand. Connect to the grounding energies that are there. Or if you want to connect to air, walk through maybe a garden, a botanical garden, flowers. If you don't have access to any of those, cheat. Go to Home Depot or Walmart or a place of that nature where they have flowers that grow. Walk through the flowers and smell them and touch them and put that sense of air into a tactile version of itself, that, not just where you have to burn incense, because there's a lot of us out there who have asthma and might not be able to handle specific types of incense. So put it into physical, natural form. Walk around at a particular time when you're wanting to really to air and feel the air, smell it, smell all the different senses around, smells around you, the good, the bad, what's not there, what is there. Do laundry. I don't know about you, but when I do laundry, one of my favorite things in the world is pulling the fresh clothes out of the dryer and smelling that fresh, clean laundry. You know, with water. If you don't have access to a river or a stream or a brook or the ocean or the Gulf of Mexico in my case, or a well, take a bath. Soak in the bathtub. Go swimming in a pool. It doesn't have to be some sort of nature-made water object. You know, give yourself a foot spa. You know, take a little plastic tub, fill it with warm water, put some essential oils in it, and put your feet in it and soak. And take this time to use your feet as more of a conduit to help your body associate more with water. With fire, I know a lot of people can't deal with smoke. So, find maybe like a beeswax candle. Something where it's not going to release as much soot. Heat. If you can afford it, maybe one of those flameless fireplaces. Get like a fire pit for your yard. If you can't afford a fire pit, get yourself maybe a little cauldron and make your own little mini indoor fire pit and burn incense if you can, or woods, or smells that you associate with familiarity. When it comes to fire representation, I light a candle. I do. I light a candle, and then I ask for the salamanders. If you can't have fire, get a flameless candle. That works just as well. Maybe find some sort of stuffed animal or statuary of the salamander. For the undines or mermaids for water, or a fish. For air. Get a fairy or a dragonfly. To me, fairies don't necessarily come in the traditional form with the 2 arms, 2 legs, body, and a head and wings. Dragonflies, ladybugs, however you feel fairies come to you. As well as earth, gnomes, moles, any kind of earth creatures that you would associate with the earth. That symbolize grounding for you. It doesn't have to necessarily be what's in a book. It's what feels right for you. And spend a little time individually with each one, and then spend time with all of them, and find things, and look around and see how many different things that you can find associated with all 4 elements, and you would be shocked to realize how much is out there. This is at almost 14 minutes. So I'm gonna go. Hopefully I think I've said everything I wanted to. If not, it's too bad. So sorry I took so long, but hopefully, somebody will find this useful. So thank you for listening and watching, and blessed be.